I'd like to go ahead and call the Chickasha City Council to order. Need a roll call, please.
Hatchett.
Here.
Irving.
Here.
Ginn.
Here.
Hebblethwaite.
Here.
Smith.
Present.
Alexander.
Here.
Burris.
Here.
Southard.
Present.
Grayson.
Here. We'll have the opening prayer by Charlie and the pledge by Erica.
Let's bow real quick. Let's see. Well, that may be better. Anyway, Father, we're grateful for the many, many blessings of our community. This chance to use the processes to represent our citizenry. And we ask your guidance as we deliberate about things and work through this agenda, working with each other. And we just pray your blessings upon our entire community. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. All right. We have a couple citizen comments. I would like to remind those that are speaking that we do have a 3-minute time, and the council has to be real careful about interacting because we have to be careful of not taking any action because it's not an agenda item. So if we don't answer or don't talk back, don't be offended. It's just that we're limited by what we can do because it's a non-listed agenda item. But we do appreciate the feedback and look forward to hearing the citizen comments. First up is Liz Reed.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Liz Reed, and I live at 213 Meadowdale Drive, Chickasha, Oklahoma. I live east of the golf course, and I've just given you some proof to show you what I'm dealing with, the golf balls that I have that come across the street and hit my house, hit my vehicles, hit people. I have been hit. My grandson has been hit. And it's just not safe. They're destroying my property. And I would like to see the city put up some netting or some protection there or move that first hole. I have over 800 golf balls here. I've lived here since June of 2021, and I've gotten rid of at least 100. And these golf balls, my son looked it up for me, they come flying at least 140 to 260 miles an hour. Someone is going to get hurt, and it could be someone in my own yard. I can't park in my own driveway. I have a place to park 5 cars, but you don't dare park there because you're going to get hit. You have to park in front of the house, east of my mailbox. I bought that home. My husband passed away. I took money that he worked hard for and bought a home to enjoy here in town, and I cannot enjoy my home because of the golf course. Other cities, I see they are putting netting up to protect people. Also, the children, people driving down the road. Just before school was out, the school bus stopped right there before you get to my house to let kids out. A man from our church had stopped. He was coming from the south, school bus coming from the north. The kids got off. Here comes a golf ball. Fortunately, or unfortunately for him, it hit the hood of his pickup instead of one of those children. One of these hits somebody, it's going to kill them. And I have tried to talk to the previous owners, but they were not interested in doing anything. But since the city has purchased a golf course, I'm asking you guys to step in and keep it safe. You know, we're residents here, and we need to be protected. We have to follow all of the laws that you give us. I'm asking y'all to protect us, not just me, but my neighbors as well. And I just appreciate the time, and I want you to consider putting some netting up for personal safety. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next up is Jerry.
I'm her son. Thanks for listening to us. We're just looking for some help.
Oh, don't pay attention to that. It starts over. All right.
Thanks for listening. We're just looking for some help. I just want to give a few instances. They say that when the previous owners owned it, I went over there, they said that whoever hit that ball is responsible for it or not. I walked up to a gentleman one time who, when I was talking to my mother, right by our pickup, it came over there and almost hit us. And I went over there and I said, "You hit my mom's truck with this golf ball." I got cussed out. Very confrontational. I went to the police. What can I do? They said, "We can't help you with that." I even came down to the downstairs and they said, "We can't help you. It's not a city deal." And I understand that. But now it is. We just ask, please, please, please. I don't want to get a phone call that my mother or my child that's mowing the grass over there has gotten hit in the temple with a golf ball and is no longer with us. Please. I've looked at it and I've talked to some golfers over there. They say when you're hitting down from the north to the south, that hole is kind of off, and you guys may have played there, you know, it's off a little bit, and it looks like it's going to go there, but it ends up coming to her house. As you saw the pictures, broken windows, new doors are dented. That's 900 golf balls in a year. That's almost 2.5 golf balls a day that you don't know. You can't, there's no safe time out there. So please, we just ask for, move the hole over 10 feet would work, or the net, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm selling these outside the door.
So you probably could have made a killing this weekend. All right, we'll move on to council communications. I'll go ahead and do the retirement watch presentation. Mr. Robert Moore. How you doing?
All right.
Didn't have it in my notes, but how many years of service is 23? 23 and a half. Well, I appreciate your service as well as I know all the city council does and staff. Again, 23 years of service to the community, that's nothing to shake a stick at. And, happy to present you with this watch for your retirement. We got any plans or?
Oh, I'm gonna play a lot of golf.
There's some golf balls back there.
Yeah. You played this last weekend? Did you?
Not now.
Oh, no.
I played one down hard.
Did you do well?
We won.
All right.
Practice here shortly, right?
Yeah.
Again, thank you for your service to our great community and the city. Greatly appreciate it. You know, the citizens can't repay it. So, I think Shay wants to turn around. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Robert. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
"23 years. I haven't done anything for 23 years yet besides draw oxygen, so that is commendable. More council communications. I know, Erica, I know you had something you wanted to speak on, and I'm sure others do as well, so we'll start with Erica.
Okay, I wanted to commend the running and all the volunteers that helped put together the Valley Tournament from this past weekend, 97th annual, oldest in the state. We spent the whole weekend out there. It was my first time being a golf spectator, and it was so fun, driving around and going and seeing these people play and those people play, and just watching so many community members enjoying gorgeous grounds that have been kind of revived by some city crew and then the group of volunteers that have put in countless hours over the past few weeks to whip it back into shape. What I got this weekend was a glimpse of what it used to be like out there. the sense of community, the fun, the joy, the camaraderie. It was, I mean, we had the best time. I really hope that there are things in place and in motion to keep that tournament specifically alive, and who knows what else. It's a special place.
I just have one thing I'd kind of like to piggyback on Mr. Burris's prayer. I have family living in the hill country of Texas. They're safe. They're probably a good enough distance away from the actual danger, but they are in kind of a staging area. I just ask that we probably should all remember, I hate to say the great state of Texas, but our Texas neighbors in our thoughts and prayers, because prayers do make a difference, and it could be us. I mean, we're not, necessarily as close, well, part of the Ouachita is, but it could very well be something that severe happen in Chickasha. And so I just feel that we should all remember and keep our hopes and prayers going toward our neighbors to the south. And we have Oklahoma first responders down there as well, helping with swift water rescues and stuff. And so pray for all of those first responders and volunteers as well.
Thank you.
And I have a shout out to Miss Rachel and her friends, Kat and Jessica. Took me on a ride along to show me what they do for code enforcement, and it was very enlightening. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And I still think that we somehow need to get out there to our people what we're doing, because I had no idea what they were doing until they showed me. And just like our streets, and I mean, I just think people need to see this, we fixed this hole, we tore down this house. I mean, I don't think we're getting out there enough to show people what we're actually doing.
Thank you for that, yeah. That's a great comment.
And I just want to say thank you to everybody who volunteered and spent hours out at the park and put on the fireworks display. So thank you all.
Yeah, no, the Shannon Springs look great. And I think there was a group, I think it was the Grady County Democrats that went out there the next day and picked up trash and stuff. I think I saw that.
I saw
Yes,
that.
and I know that Cheryl Critchfield and a lot of,
Chickasha
yeah, they
Beautiful was
also
out
did
there
as
as
well.
well.
Mhm.
Charlie, you got anything?
I actually have two, if that's okay.
You can have
It's a
three
good
if you
time
want.
for it. Well, let's start with the first one. I had something called to my attention by a Chickasha native who lives outside of our community, but still is a professional in our town. And the matter that they would like to plant the seed of, and I hope this is the proper place to do it, is the concern they have at nighttime for a street lamp to be put on perhaps an existing power pole at the intersection of former Highway 92 or Norge Road and Country Club Road. And especially their thoughts are with the future of, well, how are things going to be when they start constructing the reliever route around Chickasha or the new 81? There will probably be a lot of difficulties during that construction time.
You said that's at Country Club and what?
Country Club and Norge Road or old 92,
Right there at the concrete place,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
the Lisi plant.
just past.
Okay.
And there's a couple opportunities. I don't know if anything can be fashioned there for lighting for that intersection. One, to just kind of mark it, and two, it's just nice to have lighting in an intersection.
We have a really good relationship with PSO. That may be something we can reach out to them if they're polls.
I think it would be benefit to a lot of our community.
I think we
Perhaps-
can make that happen.
Perhaps even quite a few people are in the morning darkness using that road. So it seems busier all the time. So my second concern came from another longtime citizen that I couldn't remember. I think we've had an update on how things are going with the auditing from previous years. Is it the 23
That's correct.
24 that we anticipate having a completion at.
We anticipate having those completed this year, during this calendar year.
Okay.
And at then we'll be a little bit behind on the 25, but we will be catching up very quickly. The auditor said once the 23 is finished, he felt the 24 can be done in about 4 months. And if that occurs, I would anticipate that the 23 should be done sometime next month. And then approximately 4 months later, we will get the 24 done.
Thank you, everybody, for the update.
Yep, Friday before last, I came home from dinner, and in the lot across the street from the mayor, I look over in the tree line, and there's looked like a Class B motorhome parked down in the trees. So I called the homeowner, or the property owner, and I said, somebody's supposed to be down there, and the answer is no. So my immediate thought was, Breaking Bad, they're down there cooking meth. And so we called the Chickasha Police Department. They came out promptly, and turned out it was a stolen van from USAO.
Oh, wow.
And somebody had driven it in there and parked it, so. Anyway, well done to the police department for their prompt action on that. Appreciate it.
I'm glad it wasn't a Breaking Bad situation. What day was that?
It was Friday the 28th.
I need to pay more attention, I guess.
I know, right?
Anybody else? Anything? I would like to piggyback on several of the comments that, again, thank you to all those that put in the time for the 4th of July fireworks show, and all the city staff that was out there making sure everything looked good, and the place looked great. I want to echo that with the golf course as well. I'm not a golfer. I haven't been out there in years, but, you know, just going out there, the greens will look great. So all the volunteers, the city staff that was involved, and the maintenance crew that has been out there, a wonderful job. Everybody seemed tickled pink as far as the presentation of it and how it looked. And I think there was even landscaping around a porta-john. I think I saw something like that. That's wild. But, you know, it's little things like that people walk away with that it's just an extra touch, you know. And it was great business advertising for whatever business sponsored that too.
That would be Jared Ellis Landscape.
There you go, nailed it. It's hard to church up a porta-john, but he sure did.
Yeah, he did.
Any other comments? All right, let's move on to item 4, consent docket.
Move we accept the consent docket as presented.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
No.
Southard,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 6A, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve interlocal agreement with Grady County District 2 pertaining to maintenance, construction, improvements, and repair of projects within the city of Chickasha.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? I would like to comment that I really appreciate Grady County and the relationship we've been able to build with them over the last several years. And, you know, there's a lot of these projects that they would get done. It would just take longer if we didn't have them as a willing partner to help us out with some of the things. So anybody else have anything to add to that, or any questions or comments on it? Roll call.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 6B, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve master professional service agreement, task authorization number 3, amendment 1 with Freeze and Nichols, and authorize the trust city manager and chairman to execute the same.
Make a motion that we approve Master Professional Services Agreement, Task Authorization Number 3, Amendment Number 1 with Reese and Nichols, and authorize the trust manager, city manager, and chairman to execute the same.
Second.
Discussion?
Question, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
And probably Jim, are we really comfortable moving forward with the changes in light of the warnings that they kind of, or the disclaimers that they kind of put on this now in the changes? Or
Yes.
do we have some?
There's not that many changes per se. I think
Okay.
we're very comfortable with it, and that's why it's before you today. This has been amended and changed back and forth in discussion, and I feel, and I know Mr. Scott Vaughn feels very comfortable to move forward, and we're looking at bidding in August and moving forward with the construction of the plant.
Jim, since we're on that topic, is that something we can schedule for next council meeting, like an update presentation? So we can
certainly.
get everybody up to speed and.
Yeah, we've completed 100% plans, and I'll be glad to bring and have a presentation at your next meeting, sir.
I think it'd be good too for council to know, but also so that the citizens have an opportunity to kind of hear straight from the horse's mouth where we're at on the project.
Okay.
Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 6C, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve resolution number 25-17R to authorize the publication of public sale and public auction pursuant to 64 OS Section 1081 and 1082 for oil and gas mining leases for oil and gas development covering the real properties in Section 28, Section 33, Township 7 North, Range 7 West, and more specifically set forth in the resolution.
Mr. Mayor, could we field some questions before there's any motions,
Yes, you like to have discussion up front?
if you don't mind?
Yeah.
So as it relates to the city, I'm not really familiar, I assume that's Oklahoma statutes, but just a whole host of questions come up, knowing that there's a lot of royalty options out there to most of the owners. Are we mandated by some statutes to only bid for the 3/16 royalty option?
We are not. If you want to change it, you can do that. That's historically what the city has done, but if you want to open it up to looking at various other options and not specifying or specifying a minimum, you can do that.
There's probably some mathematicians that would say a 3/16 would be about 12 some odd %. But very often people receive a 1/5 royalty, and that would be 20% royalty coming to the city. And then sometimes you negotiate and don't even take any bonus, but you get the 1/4 royalty. So those are not unheard of, and if we're not bound by it, got further curiosity. Were the properties in question, was it brought to light from some people from industry who are wanting to lease these properties? And is there more than one party interested?
Yes, so if I could give just kind of a brief background
Thank you.
on how we've handled this. We've done this a few times over the past couple of years, and basically what happens when we receive contact from anyone in the oil and gas industry that are interested in our minerals, and there's a statutory process. So we do not ever start this on our own. We always wait until we are contacted by a company, and then statutorily, we're required to provide notice by publication and then actually have the public sale, which is why it's by auction. Anyone can show up. We want competition, but at this point in time, I've only been contacted by one company. They are the ones that actually provide us the legal descriptions, which is why if you'll look, you'll notice that we have the disclaimer that we do not warrant title. We do not warrant that anything is even unleased, because as I said, we've done this a few times, quite a few properties the past couple years. And so they know you're required to do your own research. We'll put it in front of the council for the council to consider, but you have to do your homework.
So if a property, I think I'm hearing this right, if a property actually is not available for lease, but it's purchased at the auction, the city has said, we don't have to warrant that, we told you up front. Do
Yeah,
your
and
own
that is
research.
specifically in what we're
I like
publishing.
that,
Yes.
that fact, and I think that's good to protect the city. I just didn't know if there was anything about the city or the decision-making process that would want to explore different options on the royalty. Or if in the auction, there's a way to say, bring us your best offer, or bring us, what would you pay on these other royalty options? And they would be, they maybe could just freely say, oh, that's not applicable. I would not give a 1/5 royalty on these leases. But there's a chance there could be just a little more royalty option out there, which is a little closer to participating with things, but would still, that, in my mind, would be in step with what I see other owners doing.
3/16 is not mandated, so that can be changed.
And that can be done at the time when the auction happens, they make an offer. Don't we usually confer on that and then make a decision?
So in the past, you've set 3/16, but I think that has been because that's what has been all of the offers. But if you want to change it, and again, there's no problem changing it, just let me know because we'll be changing what we're publishing. Does that make sense? Because right now it says 3/16.
Would this be the time in these, as this has come before council, that it could just, in a motion, be amended to have the companies list all options?
Yes.
Yeah. And would that be the way that we need to word that? Just not tie itself to the 3/16, but list options, like make it
Yeah,
some
just
options?
whatever, whatever option they want to provide. And then you all would decide.
And then, would there be a further layer of decision-making applied to it after the auction to say that, what does the city want to do? Are we really probably not as much about the bonus, but more about the potential royalty? Would
Yes.
that come back before council to accept
Yes, so
proper bids with staff recommendations?
Yes, so what will happen is if you all decide to move forward on this, then I think it's the second meeting in August, that will be the actual auction. So conduct the auction, then following the auction, that is when there will be the actual decision-making and you all will do your discussion and decide what you want to do. Or if you say, you know what, we don't want to do any of that.
That's where we go back to executive session and we talk about the different offers and come out. So that's our time to come back out and say, we reject all the offers or anything like that. So we have that final say.
But we won't be limiting ourselves to just a 3/16 bid.
So long as you change it in this motion,
Yeah.
that is correct.
I would like to make a motion
Okay?
that we follow through, that everything has been recommended here, with the only change being we don't limit things to the 3/16 option. We'd accept their bid at a 1/8. Well, that's lower, and then there's your 3/16 that's listed. And really, it's negotiable, anything in between. Then that fifth or the quarter could be an option, or if they wanted to be generous, they could give us a half, but I don't think anybody's going to do that. But however we would word that, that's what I would like to make that motion.
So I would second that.
We good with that, Amanda?
Yes.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Evelthwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Abstain.
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes, thank you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Motion, or item 7, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We're adjourned. I'd like to call the order of the Chickasha Municipal Authority to order. Need a roll call, please?
Hatchett,
Here.
Irving,
Here.
Ginn,
Here.
Evelthwaite,
Here.
Smith, Alexander,
Here.
Burris,
Here.
Southard,
Present.
Grayson.
Here. Item 2, consent docket.
Move we accept the consent docket as presented.
Second?
Discussion. Roll call.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Evelthwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Southard,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 4A, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve resolution 2025-18R to authorize publication, public sale and public auction pursuant to 64 OS Section 1081 and 1082 for oil and gas mining lease for oil and gas development concerning real property in Section 28, Township 7 North, Range 7 West, and more specifically set forth in the resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make that very similar motion as was in the last meeting
Okay.
on
Second.
this matter.
Any more discussion? We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Evelthwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Abstain.
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 4B, discussion, consideration, and possible action to allow the Chickasha Fighting Chicks Quarterback Club the use of the golf course and host and conduct the annual golf tournament fundraiser, July 26, 2025, and waive any associated fees.
I'll make a motion that we allow the Chickasha Fighting Chick Quarterback Club to use the use of the golf course to host and conduct the annual golf tournament fundraiser on July 26, 2025, and waive any associated fees.
Second.
Eric, I just have a quick question. It's something they do every year, right? Okay. And it's, how long have they been doing this tournament?
This is, I think, the fourth.
The fourth?
It's one of their biggest fundraisers.
I had a question. When we purchased the Chickasha Country Club, did we put it as city property or is it in the municipal authority?
Municipal authority.
Municipal authority.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 5, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
We're adjourned. I'd like to call the order of the Chickasha Municipal Airport Authority to order. Roll call, please.
Hatchett,
Here.
Irving,
Here.
Ginn,
Here.
Hebblethwaite,
Here.
Smith,
Present.
Alexander,
Here.
Burris,
Here.
Southard,
Present.
Grayson.
Here. Item 2, consent docket.
Move we accept the consent docket as presented.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Southard,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Before I make the next motion, I'd like to encourage everyone up here to, if you can, attend the OML annual conference that's coming up. Just see Susan, she can get you registered. It's in Oklahoma City, so it's a day trip. It's not going to Tulsa or anything, but I highly recommend it. A wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience, and you get to meet people that are in the same shoes as you, just different communities, all right?
It's in September, right?
9/11 through 9/13. Something like,
You're right.
It's in September, yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact dates. There's 3 days.
Item 4, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Charlie, that was good input.